gonna get it right one day. Hey, remember how many times you used to do the messages for your voicemail? It goes something like this. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for locking into another episode of I'll Piss You Off Shortly. This is the podcast where we debate everyday issues, pushing your thought process beyond what's normal. The topics discussed here are meant to be intense, promote growth, and at times may have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Me too, a little bit. We may not always agree, and we will more than likely have varied opinions. But with that being said, I can't promise to be your favorite podcaster. Neither do I want to. But I can promise to be transparent, fair, and open-minded. So please, if you think you've got the stamina, passion to debate, analyze, and challenge the normal, please take a number. I promise you, I'll piss you off shortly. Hey, mama, I got a podcast. Hey, I got a podcast. Hey, I got a podcast. Yo, what is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to the I'll Piss You Off Shortly podcast. I am your host, Rob Benjamin, and to my left, your right, or in your other ears, however site you look at it, I have Joe Guire, the favorite other second half of I'll Piss You Off Shortly. Joe, what's going on, brother?
I am doing all right. Things are good. Things are real good. Excited to be here.
Same. We're on a Tuesday night this week, but it's all good. Normally, you guys know you can catch us on every Monday night at 9 p.m. But this week and next week, you'll catch us on Tuesday nights, which is all right. Just one day shy of, a regular work week. But, thank you guys for tuning in tonight, whether you're listening on a live show, whether you're listening on the audio on a podcast app. Thank you. Or also whether you're listening on clovercrestmedia.com. Appreciate you there, too. Remember, you guys can follow us on Facebook, Instagram at I'll Pitch You Off Shortly, and YouTube. Get it cracking in the subscribe, and the subscribe thing. Press that button so many times, and then hit the like, and then give us some comments. You know what I'm saying? So now that that's all kind of out of the way. Oh, also, and then like if you're like a business, like a small business, or like a dope business, or a big business or a corporation, and you're looking to, throw some revenue, your ads can go around, somewhere around here in the next few minutes. We're always looking for advertisers and people that want to indulge and share in the growth of Clovercrest Media, and I'll pitch you off shortly. So yeah, no, don't forget that as well. But yeah, Joe, we are off of Valentine's Day. Did you have a good Valentine's Day weekend?
Yeah, I did. I didn't have anything lined up, purchased, or planned.
Okay.
And as luck would have it, Get Fresh, the meal thing that pops in here and there, it showed up, and I saw it out front, and I texted my wife, and I said, "Why don't you and I make a nice romantic dinner together?"
Ooh, bow chicka wow.
And yeah, she was like, yeah, I'm like, we'll play some music, hang out, get rid of the kids or whatever. Yeah, it was good. It worked out really well.
See, there you go. That's
all
awesome.
She wanted. That's, it was a bare minimum effort. She didn't know it, but it was an effort that, it
was worthwhile. There you go. See,
yeah.
at least, so my what holiday is that again? Valentine's Day. There we go. Valentine's Day. That's how much I dislike that holiday.
Yeah.
But my Valentine's Day, I actually tried to put in some kind of effort, right? Well, you know what? We'll backtrack. So the Saturday, I finally get a hint. And the hint goes as such. Hey, so that what's the Whole Foods? Whole Foods, if you go on Amazon, they're doing 2 dozen roses for whatever price. And I'm like, all right, this sounds too good to be true. So, I slide on Amazon, since she said she would love some roses for Valentine's Day. So I slide on Amazon, go to the Whole Food section. And of course, it's not the full, it's not the full spectrum. So I could have gotten her some purple tulips, I guess, for $19.99. 2 dozen for some tulips, but they would have been delivered on Tuesday, today actually. So that would have been a fail. Making dinner together, that's how I get stabbed.
There's a story there, if I'm not mistaken, right?
There should be, and we definitely need to hear that. But anyways, so So yeah, so that kind of failed. So I said, hey, well, since we usually don't celebrate, Valentine's Day like that, and she was actually supposed to be working, she picked up like a side under the table job or a gig. Well, she was supposed to. Then they didn't need her, so she ended up staying anyways and like having some fun. And she came home and like passed out because of her intoxication. And yeah, she slept the rest of the day. So there goes my Valentine's Day, nice and chill to myself and relax. I gave the little man his Switch, his Nintendo Switch, and I chilled. It was happy Valentine's Day to me.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
not bad at all.
Not
Not too
bad.
shabby. So, but so kind of with that being said, right? I kind of thought like, of course, Valentine's Day, love in the air, and couples and marriage and proposals and all this crazy stuff, right? It kind of got me thinking. So like the women in my house, they love watching these Lifetime movies, the Hallmark Channel, and all that shit, right? Which to me, like they all have the same premise, like they all have the same storyline. Girl or guy leaves whatever exquisite job, and then they go back home, and then they fall in love with either like their high school sweetheart or like somebody new in town, right? Blah blah blah. So something happens, and then they fight, and then they come back together, whatever, right? So I said, damn, we're doing so much promoting of love and like marriage and like unity and all that. I wonder how many people in society really understand like the true like history of like marriage, right? And realistically, was marriage love, or is it business, right? Do a lot of people now, and I know some people might be like, what are you talking about, Rob? Right? So like I think about it now. A lot of people like get married because they feel like they love somebody. They feel like this person's the right one. They're ready to settle down for somebody for like the forever, right? Because they love, it's an emotional thing. But realistically, marriage came around. It was kind of like it was a business venture, right? It was a business endeavor. It was a way to keep an economic structure, and also like uh well, pretty much to keep like your class, like your class tied, or come from a lower, not necessarily lower class, because you women, let me see here. How can I word this the right way? It wasn't known for you to necessarily marry outside of your class. Like it wasn't, I guess back in the day, marrying outside of your class wasn't like a big thing. So you either had to like, royalty marry royalty and so forth, right? But now you find what seems to be like kind of that kind of mix of both, and especially marriages. So kind of as a preface, I'll preface this with some little history, right? As far as like my before we kind of like dig into like love and marriage and like the business side of marriage and like the love side of marriage, right? I'm probably the last person that should probably be talking about this, saying that I've been married twice. And the how many what in the 13 years I've been allowed, or 15 years I've been allowed to legally be married, right? So I've been in 15 years of, what I mean, since the age of 18, I've been married twice. The first time, both of them, I want to say heavily military enforced, just because of like the mindset and mentality. But when I really want to dig inside of like the deeper reasonings for them, like my first marriage, I can't say it was love. It was more like me trying to do the right thing under like a preface of like I thought I had a child. Um, I was trying to do the right thing. I was young in the military, and I was actually about to deploy. So like the best thing and the quickest thing I thought like to do was like get married right away, right? Because just growing up, it was like if you have a child, if this that, and the third, you're supposed to take care of your family, take care of your family, take care of your family. So like not necessarily, not to say like it forced me, because I don't want to make it seem like that mindset. Like the situation forced me to get married, right? But it did have a heavy influence on like me taking care of the family. So it was I can't say it was definitely love for that one. It was more like the business side of it, if that makes sense at all. You tracking? You look kind of lost, Joe.
No, I got you. I'm with you there.
So then
Absolutely.
so then I think about it. So then I was thinking about it. I was like, damn. And not saying like I was thinking about this during Valentine's Day. This is definitely like a thought yesterday, right? But just reflecting on my previous on all, well, my past relationships, and like how I've actually grown. And then I look at my second marriage, right? And then that was a mix of like love, lust, and like ignorance. I'll say that. So like that was like I was at a very rough time, like when me and her started dating. Very, very rough time. My dad had just passed away. See, there we go. Frank goes, it's okay. I've been married 3 times and divorced 3 times. See, okay. Well, I've been married twice, divorced twice. Joe,
May I make an observation? The shocking part here is not that Frank's been divorced 3 times, but that he's been, in fact, married 3 times.
see,
Which
but
3 people would have possibly fallen for that horse shit is my question, Frank. That's
see, I can say the same about me though. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in my well, I can't say my third serious relationship, but if me and my significant other now were to get married, like she would be the third. So like that says a lot. That's crazy. But anyways, so
wait, time out. Wait a minute. You've already been married twice?
twice, 2 times. Dose.
Oh, damn.
I've
Rob,
got
you know you
2.
could date, right? Jesus
I know.
Christ.
So like we can really like
Wait,
we
so
can,
time out. Let me get this straight.
you haven't been listening to me the past
No, I
11
have
minutes
been.
and 20 seconds.
I have been.
You just
But
been letting
also,
me rant.
the show's not to me. Frank said he met her at the car wash. just so everybody's clear, Frank does not work at a car wash. I did say that last week, and that was messed up. He actually works under a bridge. But he's a good dude. That's all I can tell you about Frank.
And you can catch him every Friday night at 9 p.m. on Speaking It Real, part of the Clovercrest Media family. But keep going.
He's the one that makes sense. All right. So your
Yes.
first marriage was just it was a whim, not a good call.
Yes, very not a good call. Matter of fact, we were from 2 different states.
Yeah,
completely
perfect situation.
Like, completely different states. Like when I say
You'll
north,
make
north
that
versus
work.
south. Like yeah,
Right.
north versus south. I was in Connecticut, she was in Alabama. Definitely gonna work. Like
And certain it was gonna work out.
And it was crazy as
We'll defy all the odds here.
When I got into the military and we decided to get married while I was in the military, I was even further north. So like I just even, you know what I mean? Like I was even upstate New York now. So it was even worse. And yeah, it was a complete did I love her? Yes. Did I have love for her? Yes. Did I have love for her daughter? Yes. But I was under some certain pretenses and, I was young. I was getting ready to deploy. I wanted some of that extra money that you get, tax-free money, getting money to support the family and all that other shit. Like, yeah, like I'll take it. Definitely. Right. But once again, like I say, I was young. I was not to say I was dumb because I feel like and that was one of the stigmas, like, and that's one of the things that I had in my notes, right? Is especially like the I guess the appearance or how like people look at you, right? How society looks at you. If you're like, oh, I've been married more than twice, or I've been married more than once, right? The stigmatism behind it is they're like, oh, that's a bad thing. And then especially now with marriage being under religion a lot, right? Everybody puts marriage and religion in the same category when actually marriage, the concept of marriage has been around a lot longer than predates any religion pretty much, period, right?
Yes.
So but where I wanted to kind of go with it was just like how with marriage now, like, is divorce really a bad thing? Especially when you're looking at it into the sense now, like I after being married twice, one thing I really learned was like all contracts, which marriages are meant to be broken. Fairly much, right? And that's literally going back to the core of marriage. Like marriage is a business. Marriage is a business transaction in my mindset. Once again, I could be wrong and I could see a bunch of people screaming and yell at me now. No, marriage is not that. It's work and it's love and everything else like that. Like I get it. It is to literally spend the rest of your life with somebody for the rest of your like to have the idea and the concept and the theory to spend the rest of your life with somebody. It's dedication. That's the first and foremost thing, like, is dedication. I believe, like, more than anything, because I've seen and witnessed people that are in marriages that don't love each other, and they're just like, hey, it's way cheaper to keep her or him, and this is an amazing benefit, right? So like looking in that eyes, right? Is divorce really a bad thing, especially in society's mindset? Like, it seems like it's being more and more accepted. It's super easy to fucking do. And honestly, like I think, and maybe I might just be looking this from one side, like divorce is really just bad in the eyes of religion. Or as Frank says, oh, I missed that comment. What did he say? I know I should have been looking. Frank said, no divorce isn't bad. No divorce is not a bad thing. Just have a plan when it happens.
Rob,
I've learned that too.
Why is divorce so expensive?
Because of the lawyers. That's why.
Because it's worth it.
No,
That's
even
right.
then. But I will sit there and say, like, unless both of my marriages, let's be honest, I really had nothing to go into it with, right? Like, we came into the marriages with nothing, and we left with maybe a little bit. Wasn't nothing like to be going like crazy about. And I don't know if I can share that. I don't know if I'm comfortable sharing one thing, but I came out on top of my second marriage in a better way than whatever, and it wasn't even like intentional. But yeah, thanks to the judge. The judge saw what I was trying to do and kind of gave me kudos for doing it. And yeah, was like, can't be mad at it. So yeah, I walked out there with a dub. The second divorce definitely was something that I was like, definitely needed to happen ASAP. And then again, like when I look at it, I definitely wasn't even ready to get married the second time, but it happened because I felt forced to do it. I kind of like felt like nudged into like getting married a lot sooner than I was ready to. Even not this, and what's crazy is I proposed, but I proposed and I wanted like a 2-year engagement, only because like I wanted to get out of the military, have like some regular like non-long distance shit once again, and then like say, okay, cool, we can like let's do this. But nah, she wasn't having it. So yeah, somebody has been dumb enough to marry me. Well, not somebody, two people have been dumb enough to marry me, and then maybe I don't know. This one seems pretty smart. She's like, yeah, no rush here. Yeah, so I'm happy with it. I'm not too like crazy to like go get married. I know my family's not like crazy for me to have to go to the third wedding. So we're taking things smooth. I know. How
many blenders can I buy you, Rob?
Oh man. So
it's funny you mentioned that. I mean, I'm also once divorced and happily married, and I got divorced in 2007, and I came from a religious family.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as you could imagine, the scourge of being a divorced father of two.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, like
Joey, what are you doing?
And I'll tell you what, it really worked out because my now mother-in-law had said to my now wife in 2007, she was single, 31, and no kids, nothing like that, lawyer, hot. And our mom's like, maybe you'll meet a nice divorcee with a couple kids.
And there you go.
We met like 3 weeks later, and I remember when she was like, we were talking, and she was like, like, what's your status? And I was like, oh, well, I just got divorced, and I have 2 kids. And she was like, oh, she's like, how often do you see them? And I'm like, oh, they live with me. Their mom's a fucking psychopath.
Jeez.
Easy win right there.
Easy win.
I mean, I felt pretty uneasy meeting her family. Everyone's been married for like 50 years. And, you feel that awkwardness, but, it worked out. Everybody really gets along. We've known that family, incidentally, for like a million years. So that kind of helped too.
Oh, see, that's easy. That makes it a little bit easier.
But my first one was a total fucking mistake. Huge, horrible. I mean, she's a disturbed individual.
Well, God bless her soul.
Attractive. But yeah.
And everybody always wants the attractive ones.
Well, it's funny, you said, and I don't disagree. You said, I was in love with her. And I mean, to be honest, most of the women that you spend more than a couple days with, you eventually start to grow affectionate towards them. It's just natural. So, right after a certain amount of time, if you're keeping her around, you're gonna just love her. You're gonna love her. You're gonna,
You're gonna
or
love her.
whatever you might define that as.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
so
just
I think that's pretty normal. But the difference is, some people are like, if I can get married, and
oh
some
my
people are like, tap the brakes. What's wrong with like a 5-year engagement? There's
what's
nothing
wrong?
wrong with that.
It's the pressure from the families, I believe, or from what I've experienced, the pressures from the family or the friends, and like, like in my eyes, if I were to get married again for the third time, they say third time's a charm, but like it would be small, and like I'm not catering to like everybody else. It'd probably be out of the country once like COVID, praying that like travel and everything is normal again. And yeah, you definitely make like if you want to come celebrate with us, by all means, come to the island or wherever we're at. You pay for your travel and shit like that. If you come this way, of course, we'll pay for your meal and shit or whatever that is for the ceremony. But outside of that, no, you make the effort. If not, then that's more money in my pocket. And that's the thing, like, fuck these wedding ceremonies. Like people literally are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. In the case of my ex-wife, she took out a whole credit card, a $10,000 line of credit without even like saying nothing to me, just for the fucking wedding. And I was like, I would rather like save up for 2 years and like pay this shit off cash, even though like our wedding wasn't even like, I think I don't even know because I wasn't even involved. And that was another thing, like I want to actually have a wedding where I'm involved. My first, what my first wedding was? Online, like literally online. Her grandfather, who's an ordained minister, so like I feel stupid kind of talking about it because I don't know if this was actually illegal or
Wait, did
not.
you ever meet her?
No, yes, I met her in person. Yo, you want to hear some crazy? Young and dumb, right? So young and dumb. I met her. Here we go. I met her like right out of high school. I want to say like I was 18. Oh no, when did I meet her? Yeah, so I was like 18. This is like the MySpace days. We met over MySpace, some shit like that. And then like I went down there, Alabama, like once or twice. Um, Adult things happened, and then like I came back home and was like, I'm going in the military, and then she was pregnant, and I was like, oh shit. And you know what I'm saying? Like young and dumb. So had to do what I had to do. Um her grandfather was like a bishop down south and was like, well, we can do this shit online. This is 2009. I want to 2009 or 2010. No, 2010. 2010 was my first marriage, so I don't remember how old I was, but yeah, 2010. Yeah, and it didn't even last a full year. We were done by the time I came back from Afghanistan.
Huh.
So yeah, and then the second one was 2000. Was even shorter. No, was it shorter? It might have been longer. We got married 2015. Was divorced 16. Yeah, another year, less than a year. So hopefully, I think I'm gonna wait until like she proposes to me this time. I don't think
It's
I'm
a
gonna do
good
the
plan.
proposal. I think I
Yeah,
literally might let her propose to me, and then
if you're playing your cards right, I think that's how it should go. You know.
Oh man! So what have you learned through marriage?
Well, let me tell you a really funny story because I learned that marriage goes as far as not lying to the other person goes.
Mhm,
Man, my first wife was literally like a pathological liar.
mhm.
Um, and so that's no good. Can't have that.
Which
Um,
honestly, it might have been partially my fault in the second marriage. I definitely had some lies in there,
yeah, lies are bad. Um,
and I can
li-
admit that.
Lies are bad. Lies can be really problematic, because obviously, yeah, Frank says he learned not to get married, but then he did it 3 times. He's a real smart guy.
Smart guy that Frank is.
Yeah, 3 times. Nah, not doing this again. I will tell you this. I will never do it again. Um, but
Same. Well,
but
after this one, who
I said
knows?
I wouldn't do it a second time. But I only because she's really good, or I wouldn't for
See,
sure. But I won't do it a third time. Also, I'm like 45. You know, when is this happening? What am I like 56? She's like 24.
yeah, that might be
Nah.
the next one. You know what I'm
You know
saying?
what? We're not getting married. We'll
No, we're
just
not.
go out on my boat or whatever. Whatever is happening at the time. Hopefully, my wife's died in a tragic accident and I became a millionaire from the insurance money. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm like
There you go.
best case scenario, I guess I'm saying. But no, so in 1997, I had been dating a girl for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And she at every holiday and pseudo holiday was begging for a ring.
Oh,
And
Jesus. Water
yeah.
beg for does not quench a thirst.
But so Rob, she was great. There was very attractive. One major shortcoming.
Mm-hmm.
I won't get into that. But I had a beeper.
Okay.
And
What was her code?
what's that?
What was her code? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I really don't. I do remember leaving it on top of a payphone like 4 times.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So I had to return it. I was ending the contract and I bought an actual cell phone. So I handed her a package and I asked her to mail it. It's all set. Just drop this in the mail for me. I got a bill like 6 months later for like $300. And I'm like, what? Charge me for the phone? See you later on that day. I go, hey, you sent that package, right? She was like, oh, she goes, no, it's still in my back seat.
What?
And so that day, that was like 3 months into our relationship. That day, I knew she was not reliable.
Gotcha.
Very attractive,
but not reliable, not dependable.
Not dependable. And so I didn't want to like we were together for 3 years. My bad. I could see where that was misleading to her to think that, oh, this guy wants to stay long term. But I already knew like she's not capable. I need somebody that can like mail my shit. You know what I mean? You got to be able to mail my shit at the very least.
To the small things.
Yeah, if you can't swing that, I don't know. How are we gonna get by? You know, that was my whole anyway. So after 3 years, I had just broken into the entertainment business, and I was working like crazy hours, and I decided to break up with her. And so I called her one night after work, and she was like, do you want me to come over? And I was like, you can if you want. I said, but I'm actually going to break up with you. Yeah, 3 years, bro. Dropped it like that.
Into the wedding.
Literally like that. And it had been like a rough week where every time she called me that week, I was annoyed. And I was like, I can't talk. I'll call you later. And I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
And like, after 3 years, that's not how a relationship should end. So like a week later, she moved to Virginia and married some guy in the army and was pregnant with his kid.
Wow.
And I thought, look, our timelines were off. This chick wanted to get married and have a baby. With who? It did not fucking matter. I didn't want either one of those things.
That's crazy.
And so worked out. Incidentally, this day, friends with her son, and with her fiance. That the guy was a loser, as it turned out. But
so she's on her third go round.
Yeah, it's funny. They've actually been engaged for a couple years. And I think they're, I mean, you know, again, they got a good relationship. They're, you know, I really like them. They're really good people. I think that story might have been mean because she's a lot smarter now.
That's growth. That's good. That's
yes.
Good. Growth and
I
maturity.
thought she was a nitwit back in the day, but now I think she's probably smarter than me. And so, you know, and she's still very attractive. So
there you go. We live and we learn.
Oh, we're friends, and I'm glad that we can be. And her fiance, who, you know, you would think would want to beat me up, is a pretty good buddy of mine.
Pretty good guy. That's awesome. Yeah. See, I think I don't know where I'm sure me and my first ex-wife, we would have to have a conversation, but I'm pretty sure me and her can iron some things out if we really wanted to. And my second wife here, no, that's dead. It's so bad. I ran into her brother, my ex-brother-in-law, at the basketball court when I was doing my little basketball run for a little bit earlier. And And yeah, I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. We're gonna like end up playing a pickup game together, and we're probably like, and he's amazing at basketball. Like he played college ball and all this other shit. So I was kind of like embarrassed. I was like, he probably has like a lot of aggression to take out on me. He's gonna do me in on the court. But it was like you could tell the tension was there, and like he just left. I was like, damn, like the tension is really that thick that and you could tell like he had just got there. Like he had got there, he was warming up, we got there, and then he decided to leave. He got on the phone and left. But yeah, it's not sweet with me and my recent ex.
I'll tell you what I really learned.
Cool. It's cool. It's cool.
You know what I've really learned? Like not literally, it's like three things. Number one, if you don't lie, you got to be with your person that you could fucking say anything to.
Mm-hmm.
You tell them anything, any weirdo shit in your head. You're like, hey, and they're like, yeah, it's you. That's number one. Number two, you got to communicate. So if you got some weird shit in your head, you got to feel comfortable. If you can't tell that person everything you're up to, yeah, relationship is doomed to fail.
Mm.
I mean, unless you're moving like mob money and you want to keep her out of it, in which case she already knows about your mistress and all that other shit. And then to me, the third thing is like live and let live.
Facts.
I think people get too hung up on shit. You know? Yeah. I remember this was funny. A few years ago, my wife and I went to Block Island.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell how well things had gone for her in her late 20s. Her ex-boyfriend was our waiter.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Nice guy. Nice guy. Solid waiter. You know, it was and see, I could have sat there and been like, well, this is, you know, I mean, you know what I'm saying? But no, it was like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. You know what I mean? And he was like, oh, you guys, we had, I think, just Reagan at the time, and then obviously my daughters. And you know, again, it's like you could sit there and be pissed and get pissed at your girl about it. You know what I mean?
Like for what?
For what? Like, you dirty whore, you know? Like, sure, there's guys at every restaurant. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. That sort of that's
corny though. That's corny ego shit.
But there's well, then there you go. Make that rule number 4. Get rid of that corny bullshit.
Yeah. And like,
I feel like, dude, people get super, super petty,
especially over like past and shit like that, like relationship past. That's one of the biggest things. Like I made clear, especially when I got into this relationship, I was like, I don't give a fuck about your past. I don't care what happens because I know what I've done in my past, and I don't care to be judged off of it. But at the same, like, you know, so what's crazy is our first time really going out in public, and we went to a party. I was invited to a party from somebody that like I was working with at the time, and so we went to their party. I was like, hey, our first time kind of going out. You want to go to this party? She was like, sure. So we go to my friend's house, and guess who's there? Her first boyfriend. Like her first everything, her first love, her first everything. And it was like, cool. Like, I know. And she I guess she felt kind of awkward at first and was like, oh my God, I was like, I don't give a fuck. That at that point, it was what, 12 years, you know, like passing, like that shit means nothing to me. I don't give a fuck who that could have been your previously ex-boyfriend. It doesn't matter to me. I don't give a fuck. My ego isn't that small where I have to feel like I'm in competition. Like, dude, especially for guys out there, like you're with them. And guess what? There's always going to be more women out there. There's always going to be.
So, dude, you know what? I'll tell you, there's the like a little off point, but something that always makes me laugh, dude. I remember like some years ago, I had a buddy, tall, skinny kid, he wasn't ugly, but he certainly wasn't good looking, and his girlfriend was like double his size,
okay,
and a bitch, and always told him he was dumb, and he was dumb. He was dumb as the day was long, but. I convinced him to break up with her. I worked with this guy at a radio station, and I convinced him to break up with her, and he did. And then after like 2 weeks, they got back together, and he was like, I really missed her. And I said, did you miss her? Or did you just miss somebody?
Somebody, exactly.
She's better than nothing. Mm-hmm. You're like selling yourself short. Is it the person that you're into, or is it the being loved and having someone give a shit and blow you and stuff like that?
That's
Is
what it
that
is.
is that what it is?
Motherfuckers don't want to miss that.
Well, that's right. That's the thing. And so, like, a lot of people, you don't go out and get what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You get like whoever comes up to you.
Exactly. And that's how I feel like my girlfriend did with me. Like,
yeah.
Just came up and
listen,
she took the best option.
When that girl decides like you're the one and she comes at you, I mean, I feel like in my lifetime, I'm like 6 for 6 on that happening.
Facts.
Like the girl like approached me and was like, we're gonna date. You're like, yeah. And then like 4 years later, you're like, all right, I think I want to get rid of this one, but there's something about that. And I'm telling you, I don't want to say it's like getting steamrolled, but it is a little bit. And again, you know, I mean, we're guys, we're not like super nuanced or anything. And so you meet somebody, right? She's kind of like your mom, and that she can do your laundry and like, you know, pay your electric bill and you know, just stupid shit that you eventually as a man are going to have to start doing on your own, probably when you get divorced and move into a shitty apartment. But, you know, that's live and learn.
Live and learn.
That's how it goes. But people shouldn't. And this is what kills me, too, about murdering your loved one. Like couples that are going through a divorce and it's like, you know, a murder-suicide. Like, bro, she's not that special.
No.
You know what I mean?
One out of billions.
I don't think it's her. I think it's the idea of not having anybody that you're struggling with.
Or starting from, exactly. Or starting fresh. Or there's somebody else having that relationship with somebody else.
You could find that exact woman, but like 10 years younger.
Facts. There's so many. So like,
listen, there's girls with daddy issues everywhere. You'll be fine. Don't kill your wife. Declare bankruptcy. Leave her. Leave everybody behind. You'll find somebody with serious daddy issues, and you'll be fine. Stop killing your wife
or your husband, because that's like the biggest thing. I think it might not be portrayed in the media, but this is a ledge I'll probably just stand on by myself. But I feel like women do a lot more like relationship kills than men. It just like I don't know. I could be wrong. But I feel like women do a lot more relationship kills than men. But we're on the right track though. Stop killing your significant other. Period.
I don't want to steal Bill Burr's material, but he has a really funny thing he talks about when a guy hits a woman. You know, he's like, well, what did she do? And right away, everybody goes, oh, you can't ask that question. You know, and he's like, just asking questions here. I'm just kind of curious what might have led. Maybe I'm not saying she deserved to get hit. Why can't we at least ask the question?
Exactly.
Because look, and I don't want to. This is sort of a stupid thing to say, and I don't want to.
Not the daddy issues.
The good girls. There's the listen. If you're close with your dad, or your dad raised you right, maybe he's no longer with us, whatever the case may be, then you're fine, and you're gonna do your thing. But I'm talking about the people who are a fucking mess. And are in love with being in love, and then they lose somebody. Again, there's somebody out there. There's a woman out there who's probably pretty hot and crazy as fuck who wants to be loved like you want to be loved. Just find her at bingo or some weird speed dating shit or whatever. But
you're talking to my soul in 2017, Joe. You're talking to my 2017 soul.
I remembered after I got divorced in 2007. I want to say probably for like 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't gay. But
whoa. I mean, not whoa, but by all means, share. Do share. I just need to say, a lot of my friends are like, oh, like I want to hook you up. I'm like, nah, I'm not. I'm not even trying to meet women.
You know, I'd be in a bar and like, you know, a woman would like look at me. I think somebody bought me a drink one time and I was like, thanks for the drink. And I just
Just
like,
awkward.
I wasn't, I didn't, I've been
I feel you.
I've been in nothing but, this is fucked up.
No, it's
I've
not
been
joke
in,
because I feel like we're in the same space.
Rob,
right now.
I get in relationships and they're usually good for a while, but they
Touche.
all end in like car chases and
too.
people running off to other states and getting married and like crazy
Yo!
weirdo. Oh yeah, it's not just you.
Too?
Is that
Oh
what you thought?
this is like we were talking about last week, you know, thinking that like only things happen to just you, but
Right.
in reality, fucking it
God.
happens to everybody. Well, not everybody, but more frequently than we think.
I may have
Holy
mentioned this
shit.
one time before. I had a girlfriend who was my best friend through high school.
Mhm.
She was very hot and had boobs too. I mean, for like that
There you
age
go.
or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And at lunchtime, like we were seniors or whatever, we like go outside for like an hour and a half on lunch, just like ride through study hall. Her and my other friend, they would like get down to their bikinis. And literally, we'd been laying there smoking cigarettes or whatever, you know, at the end of the school day. And, you know, she'd be like, here, put lotion on my back. Don't be weird about it. I'm like, no, I won't, you know? Yeah. And Rob, over the course of like 3 years, this girl changed in front of me, like new bra. Just like you're my brother. Like, I don't want to be your brother. That's stupid. But eventually it got to the point where she would be naked in front of me.
Yeah.
And I didn't even
notice it.
So like a year later, of course, I was actually dropping her off on a date. And she turns and she looks at me and she says, I don't think I want to go on the date. I go, when the fuck you want to go then? Not even. And she looks at me and she goes, I think we should kiss. And I looked at her and I was like, what? This is not the reaction. And let me tell you something. Man or woman, if you look at somebody and you say, I think we should kiss, and they're like, what? Don't go for it at this point. Bad move. And so
you as in
Rob, she leans in, we kiss. By most standards, it was a nice kiss. I finally pulled back and was like, bleh, that was gross. And she was like, let's go back to my place. And I was like, I really want to grab some food. Can we get some food or whatever? Like, and so I kid you not, dude. I kid you not. This amazing, she played basketball too.
Okay.
It was really good. We used to go down to the B Street in Meriden and then to the Southington Rec. We had this her manager was this 5'4" black dude. And we used to run down there and like we'd beat the black guys from Meriden and the preppy boys from Southington. I mean, dude, this girl could drain threes in her sleep. Just burying them.
Just balling.
Yeah. And she was a Knicks fan, like to watch sports. This is the dream. This is the dream. And so she finally like gets me into a corner and I'm like, God, you know, and we hooked up and I didn't like it. It was horrible.
You don't have to like it all.
Like, I know this was fucked up though, because by all measures, this is the dream. This is the girl you want. She's hot. She plays ball. She likes sports.
She just didn't do it for you.
You know,
I've definitely been there where you thought you got the one that you really wanted, and it definitely wasn't what it turned out or what you thought it was going to be.
It took me like 3 weeks to finally tell her, like, I'm sorry. I'm just not feeling it.
See,
and dude, she like lost her fucking mind. I think she punched me in the face.
Oh God, don't tell me she like gave it up to you, bro. And then like you broke up with her. Dog, you took her virginity and then like
God, she was a hoe, dude. I mean, she dated like 8 or 9 dudes over the course of the 4 years that I was friends with her. I mean,
Oh, so
I
she was having
knew,
fun.
oh yeah. But then all of a sudden, I mean, I remember, that Vanessa Williams song, Sometimes the Sun Goes.
Yep.
Get the, I'm not the best for last, bitch. Stop that. No. But that's when you train somebody to like, don't look at me like that. Okay.
Okay.
And it worked.
You know what? It was crazy. Like, I agree. Like, I worked at Verizon for a while, when I was around like 18, 19. And this is when like Verizon had like the mobile techs there and like they actually like fix phones and shit. So there was a mobile tech chick there. And like, I remember like me and her would do like the flirt thing. I want to say I was like 19 and she was like 24, 25. And I was like, dope. Like, and this is when actually they were sneaking me into this one bar. So I would like after work and shit, they would sneak me into the bar, drinks and shit like that. And one night we hook up, like she literally rode all the way back to Middletown with me. We hooked up in her car and I was like, this is going to be amazing. And literally it was just, nah, it was not it, bro. And I was like, yeah, like weeks and weeks. I want to say like maybe months of anticipation of like going from okay, you're the new guy, you're young, but you're cute. I would never to, oh my God, you actually have some kind of game to we actually hooking up. And I was like, I'm good. Y'all know how to pick them, I guess. All the stories that I could tell. But yeah, so that's funny. That's crazy. I've also been almost attempted to be ran over her finding a hairbrush that was actually hers. I don't know if I've said that story before. So yeah, we definitely have the pick of exes, and I'm pretty sure I have like a written contract from one of my exes when I was like, we were like pretty much by the time of 35, if we're both single, we're gonna get back together and just try it out one more time. I'm pretty sure I've written that down somewhere and we signed it as like a little joke when we were young. I wonder if that still holds because she's actually kind of smoking. So yeah, mine better watch out. Joking, joke zone. I have had knives thrown at me before. So I didn't have a knife, but I had, you know what a Gerber is? Like a utility knife.
Yeah.
Gerber has a bunch of little tools, right? I had that thrown at me once and it almost hit me in the fucking head. And those things fucking are heavy.
Here's what you don't understand about Frank's comment. I've had knives thrown at me before. You know what the
It's
carnival
Cuban.
when they put that guy on the wheel and they spin?
Oh, he was on the
actually one of his jobs.
Oh, so that was some more like S&M shit for him. Then. You know oh man. But so I heard you you know, at that point, we're gonna get into our first ad for the day, for the night. Everybody, please pay attention and stay tuned. DJ Reefa's about to bless your ears.
There's always a holiday, birthday, or any celebration to look forward to. So why not prepare now and book your favorite DJ and or photographer? Book DJ Rifa, the most versatile female DJ around for your parties or small gatherings. Need a professional photo shoot done too? Then book Reef's Views to capture your dream shots as well. Don't need either, but still curious to check out the work? You can now find DJ Rifa on shopblackct.com, the best directory for all Black-owned businesses in Connecticut. On there, you'll find DJ Rifa's Instagram at Queen of All Trades with 3 L's, where you can now look and book. Need more information but want to reach out directly? Email DJ Rifa at masonsharifa@gmail.com. Memories last a lifetime, so let's start making them.
Make sure you guys are following DJ Rifa at Queen of All Trades 3 L's on Instagram, booking her for 2021, because I believe 2021 is actually gonna, we're gonna see a lot more movement, a lot more activity. So I know if I get a chance to host, I'll piss you off shortly, kind of like party within the year. You guys will definitely see DJ Rifa there. DJ Rifa actually DJ'd my sister's not the wedding, but the wedding, whatever the like reception party is. Like we had a big
reception.
The reception. No, not the reception. It wasn't not the reception, like the day prior. So like the
rehearsal
dinner and all that.
Rehearsal dinner,
it was actually a brunch. So she DJ'd. She was phenomenal. Oh yeah, it was bougie, you know. But nah, so she DJ'd my sister's rehearsal brunch, and that was amazing. She's done some photos, so she is the true queen of all trades. So make sure you guys go check out DJ Rifa. Once again at Queen of All Trades on IG. Super phenomenal, and she's doing the intro for I'll Piss You Off shortly soon.
And I'm proud to say I actually produced that commercial a little bit earlier this evening.
Yes, the video. Yes,
and I'm actually gonna slick it up a little bit more. It was my first foray into producing a video, and because DJ Rifa is the 3 L's for all. Everybody I initially showed that video to when I first made it was like typo, and I'm like,
you didn't
nope.
listen.
3 L's, motherfucker.
So, so make sure you put those 3 L's down when you look her up on IG, Queen of All Trades. All right.
I actually went on the website too, blackshop.com.
Yep.
That website's a disaster, but if you are intent on yeah, I mean they need a better website design, but it's a good it's a good
it's a good start.
I was gonna say the folks that are listed on it,
good concept
that I clicked on, I mean quality people with quality work. I wish that website was better.
Yeah, bro. Make sure you guys follow DJ Rifa. But so yeah, now since we've been kind of on the honesty kick, right? I kind of want to stick on that kind of train and being honest with conservatives, but respectfully. What I've started to notice recently, right, with conservatives is they're pushing a certain narrative that's like super contradictory to what I feel like their beliefs and their core values are, right? For an example, a lot of people are like, a lot of conservatives and Republicans that are super upset that like Trump lost and all that. It seems like they're nitpicking, right? They're nitpicking at like every little thing that like if Biden sneezes the wrong way, or if Biden sneezes to the left and he should have sneezed to the right.
But they insisted if Trump cured cancer, we would be like, well, we still like cancer better.
And you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I get it. And probably like, this is how I'm sure how they feel now is how we felt 4 years ago, or like how I felt 4 years ago, kind of in a sense. But it's like, and I keep seeing all these comparisons. They're like, oh, nobody let Trump live when he first got in the first 2 weeks. But there's a difference, right? When Trump got in the first 2 weeks, he was literally doing stupid mistakes, like dumb, stupid things that we were just like, holy shit, here we go, right? Already, here we go with the stupidity. Literally, Biden has done nothing but reverted back to normalcy. And they're literally like the most things that I've seen is Biden talking slow, stuttering, which we all know about. And then that's it. Literally, that's it. And then like everything else is just like ignorant hatred. So like people were talking about Biden actually being open-minded and letting a transgender fucking, you know what I'm saying, like into his board. He's not just sticking to the same dumbass conservative ways. And I'm trying to stay away from like calling conservatives and like Republicans dumbasses, but like I'm trying, right? And I think that's another reason why like conservatives / Republicans don't want to speak to me. Which is a whole nother situation, but you know what I mean? So this is what I'm seeing everybody regurgitate and kind of like push out, all these conservatives, this false narrative of like false lies and then the mockery and stuff like that. But then once again, when they get made fun of, or if they get talked about or how stupid they are, then they want to cry and then say they're being scrutinized and they're being treated unfairly and they're being blocked. Well, guess what? Like, nobody has time or like patience for like that ignorant talk anymore. Nobody has time for bigotry. Nobody has time for illicit facts. Nobody has time or
alternative
facts. There we go. Nobody has time for this bullshit anymore, right? So, and even then, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, when are you guys going to grow up? We hear these conservatives, we hear these Republicans talk about, oh, we need to treat each other fairly. We need to treat each other with respect. Where's the unity? But at any given chance, you guys don't spew out any kind of unity. You guys don't spew out any kind of respect.
Right.
Even when the ball was
unity's on you guys.
exactly, the unity's on us. The unity's on the black people. The unity's on liberals, right? And once again, I'm a centralist. I call myself a centralist, right? I don't even consider I do have some liberal views, but I'm a centralist, right? But you're right. The unity has to fall on Black Lives Matters. The unity has to fall on everybody else but them. They have no sense of actually like no sense of taking control or even like taking what word am I looking for? They have no sense of like fuck. I lost my train of thought.
They have no sense of
no sense of accountability.
Accountability. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm stuck on it. I don't know how accountability kicked my ass.
The party of responsibility doesn't want to be responsible for what happened and the status of the country as it currently is after 4 years of them ruling it.
Exactly. There we go. So, and then I heard you say something earlier, and it kind of brought up a situation, right? When you're like, whatever the comedian guy is, and his joke is, what did she do, right? So we have a conservative, right, that we know mutually. Well, you know better than me a little bit, and one of the biggest things that we see them spew all the time is their family members have been attacked or somebody has attacked them from the other side of the party. Like the main thing that I wanted to ask them first, and every time I see them spew the same thing, right, is first and foremost, what did that family member of yours do to get this shit beat out of them? Because I'm sorry, I don't just know black people to just beat on somebody just because they're white. I'm sorry. Like there has to be.
It would be very black privilege to think you could just assault a white person, Rob, and not think there'd be consequences. You guys in the inner city will beat the shit out of each other, and that's the way it goes. You go out into the suburbs and punch somebody, the cops are getting called, and it's going on your record.
Exactly.
Then that's the harsh reality of the past 20 years of living in the burbs. That's how it goes.
Exactly. Especially when we're not even allowed to live in the burbs. We start moving into the burbs, and then the suburbs are going to shit, right? So with the same person, they go on a specific show. We'll speak about a most recent incident, right? So they go on a specific show, and I asked them a simple question, just relating to what they were considering a breach of safety. This person was saying that, whatever I can't remember exactly what it was towards, but they were comparing, they were trying to compare the safety of, I want to say whatever the riots in Portland or whatever happened in Portland or whatever recently happened, right? And they were like, well, it's a safety concern. Oh, fuck. It's a safety concern. They were like, oh, it's a safety concern. So I was just saying, well, what about the Capitol riots? Is that not as much of a case? And they were like, well, those are two different things. No, if you're going to sit there and say that it's a safety concern, it's more of a federal safety concern because of Black Lives Matter, because of whatever happened and a cop got injured, or the New York shit again, right? They're trying to spew a whole New York thing again. And I'm like, this isn't any more of a safety, isn't less than the kid's safety concern than the Capitol riots. And they were trying to sit there and say, nope, this is different because it's Black Lives Matter. Oh, nope. This isn't equal. No, you fucking idiots. It is equal. And if it's more of a safety issue now that they're actually like like we had, that's what it was. Immigration. They were saying that due to immigration, the immigrants were more of a safety concern than domestic terrorists attacking the Capitol.
Right. Well, again, that's a complete matter of perception that only a white person could have.
But exactly. And that's where I was trying to get at with that. When I was like, since you know so much about the safety precautions, right? Which one's more of a safety threat? Just tell me. Which one is more precedent? Which one are you setting precedents to? If you get this on your desk, especially, and I believe this person's a lawyer, right? And please correct me if I'm wrong. But, and there we go. Two different crowds get two different responses. And they were trying to sit there and say, well, it's two different situations. You can't set a priority to which one. No, yes, you can. As the president, you have to set a precedent towards one, right? Which one's the more violent crime, or which one is more of a attack on American soil? Immigrants coming or trying to get into, whether legally or whatever the case may be, or actual domestic terrorists fucking, and they couldn't give me an answer. But once again, they want to sit there and say all these other things. So here we go. I'm trying to figure out from this conservative, and then they get scared and they're like, I'm saying, well, come on the show and you share your views and, let me ask you some questions. Oh, I don't know if I want to go on your show. Well, why is that? That's because a lot of the times these conservatives know that they're contradicting themselves, right? These are the same conservatives that sit there and say, all lives matter, and, keep the babies, and, religion won't let you can't have abortions. But then at the same time, when welfare comes around and assistance is needed because people are not having abortions and people are having babies that they're not ready for, then you guys have a complaint, right? Then you guys are saying that everybody's just mooching and everybody's just trying to get a piece of the pie and get a piece of your tax money. Make up your fucking mind, people. That's one thing that I actually can give kudos to for actual liberals. They might change their mind, but at least they say, hey, we're pivoting, and you might not like it, but we're pivoting. And here's, you know what I'm saying? Here's the reason why, here's a donation why, whatever the case may be. Not to say that liberals are better, but at least they can be more accountable. Same thing that I said with Joe Biden earlier, right? I might not like Joe Biden. I might not agree with a lot of his past decisions. But the one thing that he was able to do that Trump wasn't able to do, I fucked up. I made choices on things that I was uninformed of. I made ignorant decisions. What has Trump done? None of that. So it's like, it really gets super irritating, and more like I've tried to keep conservative friends around, but more and more it's like I see the ignorance, and then I try and like not even like be mean about it, but like point it out and be like, look, this is wrong. This is just stupid. You're just pushing a certain narrative. Then they all want to blow. Oh, you're trying to censor. No, we're just sick of the fucking ignorance. So go ahead, Joe.
Well, so, we see that with immigrants, especially illegal immigrants, a much lower crime rate because they are at risk of being deported if they get arrested for something. The people who are in that DACA program, the 800,000 or so people that were born in this country, even though they weren't citizens, and have been here their entire life. I mean, one of the conditions of being in DACA is you can't have a criminal record or you get deported.
Simple as that.
But again, only a white person could think, oh, these dirty Mexican illegal immigrants. And this is the difference between Trump and Biden, too. I've heard this from my right-wing friends. They're asking Biden all these softball questions, and the media is being really nice. Well, because he's not being a dick. If you're a dick out of the gate, the response is going to be dick back.
Exactly.
Joe Biden has a leash here. And as long as he performs and doesn't call the media the enemy of the people, the reporting, I will assume, will stay mostly positive, as it should. I mean, listen, in an ideal world, and this is what I don't think a Trump supporter can get their mind wrapped around. And I think there's a difference between conservatives and Trump supporters, because a real conservative and a good conservative, it has to be good riddance. That has to be their thought now. Glad he's gone. Sold my soul for a lot of judges in a 6-3 Supreme Court. I guess I can live with myself. And that's fine. Do that. But to still embrace that, after all that you saw, and to act like you can't understand why the media is not jumping down Joe Biden's throat yet when he hasn't done anything wrong. And again, you've already seen how right-wing media spun that pipeline, and 11,000 people lost their jobs. Nope, no such thing. 11,000 hypothetical jobs, of which 50 would have eventually become long-term full-time jobs. So no.
Miss me with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right? I keep telling my Republican friends, we'll save the outrage for when he does stupid shit, and I'm sure he will. Exactly. Every president does.
Obama did it. Bush did it.
Here's the thing. Because every day of the Trump administration was an outrage kind of day. because every morning you had to wake up and wonder what that fucking lunatic tweeted. Every day started that way, and now it doesn't, and we're still like, oh my God, what? Let's just all tap the brakes.
Facts.
Again, I'm sure Joe Biden will do some things that none of us agree with. Great comment from Frank. You forgot that he's made gas prices go up, right? I mean, we had that whole conversation last week about how the price of gas has nothing to do with the United States at all.
Yeah. And then even then, yeah, not at all.
Again, like, listen, here's the other thing, Rob. And you know, when you talk a lot about the financial literacy and trading in stocks, and we talked about it last week. You went and learned it on your own. Sought out a mentor, went to Georgia, spent some time, learned that stuff. The information that people are really looking for is out there, and it's not on a YouTube channel from some jerk-off white guy. I know the real truth. He's a fucking moron. Yeah. Okay? That guy's getting paid by the click, and he's trying to convince you that the whole world is falling down. It's not. There's no deep state. There's none of that horse shit. I mean, and the other thing, and I know you and I sort of jumped on their throats last Friday night on Speaking It Real. Biden's going to take the guns away. Listen, dumbasses, for 8 years, and I was a Republican during this whole stretch of 8 years. For 8 years, Obama's coming for the guns. When is that, guys? It's like 6 years in. When is he going to do that? I don't think
ammo prices, they've gone up. That's how you know. That's how you know. No,
I mean, so idiotic. The gun sales were through the roof to the point where they actually really needed the school shootings when Trump took over because gun sales had tapered off. If Joe Biden wanted your guns, he would have grabbed them before 2012.
Facts. They would have been gone. Your guns aren't going anywhere.
Every chance to take your guns away. Every chance. Our guns away. That's exactly right.
I'll say our guns because I'm a gun owner, and exactly that just makes people buy more guns. And if you think that you're going to actually give away your guns, like, do you like y'all are fucking idiot? Let me not do that.
So my brother's a gun lunatic. My brother's got like an arsenal in his house.
And ask him the last time he shot probably a quarter of them. Yeah, faithfully.
Rarely does. It's I've talked to him enough to know that, I mean, all these weapons are for the zombie apocalypse.
That's
okay. So hopefully that shit happens for him. The whole time during the Obama thing, right? He was like, they're coming for him and his wife. They're coming for the guns. I go, bro, think about the first house they go to. They're like, we're here for your guns. And that guy barricades that shit and he starts shooting and they shoot him and his whole family's dead. And it's all over the news.
Mm-hmm.
That will be the last gun confiscation. Okay.
Exactly.
Whether it's the first guy that barricades, the 10th, the 12th, the 50th, as soon as that happens, that would be the end of the gun confiscation movement in America. So it's never going to happen. Also, I can't see our police and servicemen delivering on that promise of confiscating guns. I don't think that they would do it, even if ordered by the social liberal demtards or whatever you want to call them. So
that's their only narrative they have to push.
Correct, because it's fear. They're afraid something different's going to happen, and it's not. It's your white privilege stance, and it sucks that you look at these other minority groups, whether it be Black or Asian or LGBTQ or Pacific Islanders or Asians, like they're cutting in on your territory. That's not the case. They just want to play on. They want to play on your field. Everybody just wants a seat at the table. You could still be in charge, just you can't kick everyone around. That's it.
But that's the thing.
People are tired of it. That's why they were flipping fucking cars over all summer.
Those fucking those ways are tired.
Treat people better. That was the message. People matter. All sorts of lives matter. I think there was one specific life that they were talking about over the summer. I don't remember though. Some people struggled with it, so not everybody had it right. But whatever, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
But look, the reality is, I find now, Rob. I mean, most conservatives are like, no, Black Lives Matter. It's like, did they have to burn the fucking country down for you to see it that way?
And
Could we have just listened to fucking Colin Kaepernick in 2016 and not had the fucking country burned down? Seriously?
They always want to fucking complain until some serious action happens. Then it becomes fucking
damn Devon.
Hey, you're stolen. She got it.
Yeah.
Stolen field, right?
I stand corrected. That's correct. I mean, they just want to play on your stolen field. Yes, built on the backs of slaves, you scumbags. Come on. The legacy is there, and they know it is.
And that's the other thing. Like they like, I'm so confused at it, and I hear a lot of people say, "Well, what about white history?" Well, what fucking history does white people have? There is no white history. In all actuality, when you look at it, there's no white history. I know of Irish history. I know of like Scottish history and shit like that. There's no white history. If you go back to white history, you guys came around, stole some black people, and black people definitely made this country fucking dope. Point blank period. However, whatever era you want to look at it, doesn't matter. It's always been that way. And I've said it so many fucking times before. If it wasn't for us, definitely America wouldn't be what it is today. If it wasn't for minorities, period. Because honestly, like, what has American white people done? Honestly.
American white asking me to speak on behalf of the whites. I don't accept that position.
I don't know. There we go. Don't tell black people to get over slavery when you still haven't gotten over losing your slaves. And a lot of these motherfuckers, and what's crazy, a lot of these people waving that flag will be the first ones to sit there and say, "Well, I don't own slaves. My grandfather didn't own slaves." Well, do a lot of
right, but I want to honor the legacy. I want to honor the legacy when he did own slaves, though. That's fucking weird.
And there's a picture that I've kind of like in the past 2 years, and I don't know if it's still floating around or who has it. So I'm sure somebody does. There's a picture of me standing in front of a conservative flag one year, especially when that flag was out. It was around like I want to say like when Kaepernick got hot, like when all that shit happened. And I was just trying to say that like the flag doesn't make or break me. Right, like as a black man, like fuck that flag. I'll stand in front of it, like whatever. But then, like the more I think about it, I'm like, that was not necessarily ignorant, but I know I didn't put a lot of context behind it. I know it was like a picture of me like standing in front of it, or like even turning at it and like flicking it off. I still feel that way towards this. Whatever I'm trying to say, I still feel that way to this day about that flag, and even like the sentiment. But yeah, like fuck that flag. That flag doesn't mean shit. That like a flag, even earlier, I said it, not this podcast, but another podcast. Fuck the American flag. A flag is not a representation of me. Like, I'm not fighting just because of this piece of fucking material or shit like that. Like, this flag means nothing to me, and that's what that picture was supposed to mean. But now I'm like, fuck. I hope that picture never like resurfaces, because I don't want to have to explain myself.
Let me tell you something about me
again. Mm-hmm.
I don't like pledging allegiance to the flag, and I don't like saying the national anthem, and I never have. And my issue, I went to Catholic school where we said the Our Father and then followed it up with the Pledge of Allegiance, and it felt like mind control. Mm-hmm. And I own a business, and I own a home, and I pay a lot of taxes, and I don't need to like kiss the fucking country's ass, I am patriotic. I love America. I want to see America be the leading country on the planet. I believe that it needs to happen. The world needs to be policed, and it needs to be policed by a superpower. And I think it should be this country, because I think this is the best country in the world. It's got a lot of problems. It's got a shitty history like every country does. But that said, I don't want to take an oath. I don't like that. I don't feel like I pledge allegiance to the flag. Well, I
was born here. I'm not pledging.
Right. I'm a citizen. Why do I have to continue to repeat that? That makes me feel like I'm at like a Hitler concentrate, like a Hitler boot camp. I mean to say,
it is literally brainwashing. It's Americanized. Like that's literally what you're doing. You're brainwashing us as from the young to have loyalty to a piece of land that we were literally just luckily our sperm made it to our parents' egg. Like, that's it. We were that fucking lucky to be produced on this soil. Like, when you break it down, right, there's nothing special about this land versus, like, literally this physical land versus anywhere else.
Well, think about this too, Rob. A lot of people are afraid of the government, fear the government, right? They don't want the IRS to call them. They don't want the government to get involved. They're poor as fuck. They don't want to be on welfare because they don't want the government to be all up in their business and giving up their privacy and shit like that. Which, I mean, at the end of the day, doesn't make a whole lot of sense at all. You know what I mean? I just people are like, I don't know. People got a warped sense of like, what does it mean to be patriotic?
Well,
What does it even mean?
True. What does it mean? I mean,
stand for the anthem. You got to stand up for what? No. Why? Can I enjoy it sitting down? Because I'll be honest, when I'm at the stadium, I stand up and I take off my hat.
But why?
When I'm home, I just fucking dish that shit right. And I just eat right. I don't care. And everybody does the same shit, though. Tell me you don't.
I do.
The national anthem plays. You know, you're out there taking fucking last hit of your fucking. Give me a break. I know what everybody's up to. Bullshit.
I'm telling you,
dude. I was in the military. 5 o'clock. Real quick, two of our buddies who do one of the sports shows were out, just flipped out by the protests for the over the flag when they were kneeling.
Oh, your guys?
Yeah. I mean, that's so disrespectful. Really? To you? What? How is that disrespectful?
I love how this dude told me people that never served.
Stands up at his house whenever the anthem comes on.
He's lying.
Well, he insisted that to me.
He's lying.
Funny story. Birthday party last year. Someone's turning 25. I go over. Bro, the fucking anthem was on like 4 different televisions. They got like 6 different games on.
He didn't.
Not one mother. Dude. There's like 30 people in the house. Not one person stopped when there was like simultaneously multiple anthems playing at multiple stadiums in multiple U.S. cities, and everybody was loading up their plate.
Yep.
Bullshit.
Nope. And
I stand up at attention. No, you don't.
No, you
do not.
You do it to just show that you're patriotic and you have love for our country. But realistically, and those are the same people at 5 o'clock when that fucking horn would go off and those colors would go off, they'd be running to go inside or running in their vehicles so they didn't have to stand there and stand at the position of attention to salute those fucking flags. Those are the same fucking people. And then but then want to be all fucking patriotic now. I'm sorry. You don't miss me with the bullshit of miss me with your patriotism if 1, you didn't serve in the fucking military, and 2, if you didn't serve in the fucking military. That's the only time I accept some fucking patriotic shit or some patriotic fucking slander from anybody that wants to complain. So like, I don't care unless you fucking served or like you've actually like done some civil fucking service to your fucking country. Miss me with that bullshit. And then even then, if you fucking served and you didn't uphold that fucking standard while you served, don't fucking try and uphold that fucking standard now and try and act all high mightier than now. I'm going to start my show this week with the national anthem. Let's see who stands. If you guys want to listen to that bullshit ass national anthem, I guess you can listen to fucking Speak It Real on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Where half of them are fucking smart. The other one's fucking lost in fucking sauce, still trying to find his way home from fucking Cuba. But, you know, whatever. Like, that's another thing. So, like, at first, when I put this topic up, I was kind of like, man, I really want fucking conservatives to come play with me, but fuck that. And the more and more I talk about this shit, like the more and more I'm just like, y'all are fucking slow. Like, when are y'all gonna grow with the fucking times? Like this old timer fucking mindset of, you know, this old country and shit is over with. It's time to like grow. It's time to start fucking treating people with fucking respect, equality, and fucking let somebody fuck up before you start fucking trying to talk shit about them. Because guess what? I can start talking shit about a lot of y'all motherfuckers and start pointing out deficiencies just in regular family lives, and y'all be ready to fucking fight me or kill me. So like, watch your fucking mouths, because y'all don't live in fucking brick houses. Y'all live in glass houses. All right. And I hope that I can get that one conservative that we're talking to be coming on the show, but they claim that their co-host wouldn't let them on there. And for me, I'm like, if you're scared from your co-host or like the person you work with, and you're scared of I'll piss you off shortly, then yeah, I'll piss you off shortly definitely isn't the podcast for you to try your bullshit deception on, because I'll eat that alive. And I really want to know though. I really want to know if this person's listening. You can hit me up in the DMs, because it goes back to, what did that person do to get punched in their fucking mouth or get beat up from this BLM fucking protest? I was just being sarcastic. Carlos, I mean, that's not Carlos. Frank, I know that's you, brother.
It's the smart one.
It's the smart one. But
Frank, how often do you get that? When it's you and any other human being, and they're like, "Hey, Frank's the smart one."
Frank's the smart one. I wonder how all these conservatives and Trumpists are doing in Texas right now. Frank, what the fuck you? Now that hell is frozen over, I wonder how their mindsets are doing now. You know what I realized? What I noticed? What I learned from seeing all this? If anybody doesn't know, the state of Texas is pretty much in their own 2-inch blizzard, which is funny. They only got like 2 inches of snow, and they're in their own fucking blizzard, losing their heads. What's the senator that Cruz, like Ted Cruz, you're supposed to have all the fucking answers. Why aren't you helping your fucking state, right? But I did learn what I was gonna say was I learned today. I was today years old when I learned that Texas was the only state that supplied itself with its own power grid. Everybody else is supplied through the nation, but Texas is the only state.
How's that working out?
Not too well right now, because hell has frozen over. So apparently, Texas got a big snowstorm over the past like 2 days.
Wow.
And when I say big, 2 inches, to us that's a regular walk in the park. But in Texas, where they have no kind of help,
everything's bigger in Texas, I guess.
Exactly. Everything.
2 inches. My God, I can't handle all that, girl.
So hey, for all you 2-inch fellas, go to Texas. They can't handle 2 inches. They can't handle 2 inches in Texas. But it was just funny, like, to see like all these Texans and shit. They're like, oh my God, this is snow, and like they're literally like they can't move. Like, I remember being in Georgia when like a big ice storm came, and it wasn't even a big ice storm, but like we talked about this, the fucking highways were closed, people were walking home for miles.
It literally looked like the opening scene to The Walking Dead. People just like left their cars and slept at the Home Depot. It was insane.
It's crazy. So I it was just interesting.
We can't drive on this here wet slippery surface.
These big ass trucks. But I was like, yo, they got big ass trucks, they got all these big ass vehicles in these cars, and they can't do shit. They're slipping and sliding in 2 inches of snow, and their power's out and all this other shit. Like, what the fuck, Texas?
Listen, you gotta turn into the spin. If you start fishtailing left, turn the wheel left. Straighten yourself out. All right. That way you don't have to leave your car and walk home and then take your horse to work the next day.
But on the bigger side of things, I started thinking like, holy shit, Texas is getting fucking snowed in. Oklahoma got ripped up early this year. Apparently between like the snowstorm and shit, like there was like some tornadoes and shit in Oklahoma up top. So like, could we be at the beginning stages of like some crazy weather, even like for us? So like, I've noticed the past couple of years, February has definitely been our like snow month. Like it would be like no snow September through fucking December, but like end of January, February, you can bet like some snow shit was happening. You figure even Texas, I think some parts of Texas got more snow than like some places in Alaska this whole like year. They were talking about, like, it's fucking crazy. I think we could possibly be like in the beginning stages of like some like crazy hurricane seasons. Like somebody's gonna get something crazy. Mother Nature is like in its works of like, we're definitely in the beginning of like some environmental changes, I believe. I don't know if it's gonna be like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like maybe Florida might get wiped out this year, or like somebody's gonna see some what was the end of days or days where it was like New York was like a blizzard and all the buildings were covered.
Yes.
Like I'm telling you, 2021 might be that year. I know the movie said 2020, or was it 2021? or was it 2020? Which movie
one?
was it?
It's I know it's one or the other.
See,
We definitely do. Well,
we're
listen, it's it's funny and it's not because and anybody it's like I talked to our friend Kiana Mitchell in Alabama and I was talking to her the day during our storm and I'm like, we're bracing for 18 inches today. And she's from Alabama, so she's like,
so
wow,
like,
18 inches. That is, yeah, they're envious of our weather.
really?
They are. Yeah, they think it's cool when it happens. But I was telling her, I said, Kenna, I go, it used to snow in like November. Like it would snow for Thanksgiving and then it would snow on Christmas. Now, if you get a dusting around Christmas, you're like, hey, a little snow on the ground, kids. It's great.
Hell yeah.
Right? But now, dude, it's like end of January, February, we're getting storms.
March sometimes. Yeah.
And now they go into March. That's spring.
Exactly.
You don't think there's something wrong with the climate, people? First of all,
it literally is push.
Because this shit does go in cycles. The other interesting thing, how people said that the Mayans predicted the end of the world in 2012?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't. What they actually said was that there would be a new cycle starting in 2012 and that there would be immense turmoil in the world, both weather-wise and with people. Now, you would agree since 2012 between avian flu and the swine flu and now the COVID-19, tsunamis, earthquakes, tornadoes.
Japan just had another earthquake.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like we're living through like a catastrophic event on this planet. And I know some people think it's a Chinese hoax. And look, no doubt the Chinese are probably doing more damage to our ozone layer and the environment than anybody else on the planet. Facts. We can agree on that. But to think that we don't have to do something, I mean, all the scientists that are credible at this point are all suggesting that, we're a decade away from Florida and New York being underwater.
I believe
and yeah, man. I mean, we see that these storms are like more severe too.
Heck yeah.
Dude, the last two like big windstorms have literally ripped siding off of my house.
Oh my God, trees
never happened before. Yeah, what the fuck? Like if you can't see it, things are getting more intense. And again, if you know anything about the way the earth works, it's very circular. Or cylindrical, so you get these cycles, and we're in a bad one right now. And what we're doing, as far as our carbon footprints, we're deteriorating that layer of the atmosphere that protects us from bad stuff. And the more we damage that, the worse things are going to get. That's why they want to cut carbon emissions.
Hey, EVs coming soon.
It's not because a bunch of fucking hippie liberals want to have cleaner air, although that's nice. Cleaner air and cleaner water isn't a bad thing, is it?
No, not really. I know I like good taste of water.
There's literally people who think it's okay to lift regulations off of business.
Oh yeah, well, we know what their mindset is. We know
right, and as soon as you lift those regulations, they immediately start dumping shit in the water and spouting stuff out of their factories into our air.
Oh yeah,
because they don't care. Well, maybe they'll do the right thing. Oh no, they won't.
No, it's already been proven. It's already
over and over again. Give me a break. Come on.
Don't blame us when hell continues to freeze over, and now fucking your beloved South Beach is now the new ski slopes or the new Bermuda Triangle just sunk underwater. Which is the reason why I want to kind of go Midwest, because like when this shit happens, we're right at the coastline, like we're right there.
Well, so listen, these are more religious people, right? In Oklahoma and Texas, probably a lot more of the Christians, a lot of that Southern Baptist. I think it still spreads out that way. And so, look, if you think that God put you here special, and he made this beautiful earth, and he positioned it perfectly near the sun, just to give you warmth, and he made the plants green because it's pleasing to the eye, if you believe that, why would you not think that he'd want you to take care of that shit and clean it up?
You know,
God gave that to you. If you believe that, he gave it to you. He's coming back soon, I understand.
Yeah, they've been saying that for 33 years.
He's gonna be pissed when he sees what you've done with his planet. Clean that shit up.
How long? Yo, he's got the meanest. He's got the best. What are those called? The standby flights. Like he has the infinity standby flight just to come back, just whenever he wants to. I need that infinity fucking standby pass because he's been coming since I've been alive. He's been coming back since I've been alive. And then according to their book, he's been coming back even before. Even before. So like this is crazy. He's been coming back for like thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah, this is the long-awaited arrival.
I'm just but you know,
I mean, right? But dude, I mean, again, this is the silliness behind the whole thing. Like, how long do you wait?
I mean, you know what? I give it to him because these women have waited longer for God than they've waited for a man in their life. So
I was gonna say, right? Your dad goes out for cigarettes, and like 3 nights later, you're sitting by the door, and you're like, "Mama, I don't think Daddy's coming home." No.
They've got more faith in no. You know, I'm not even gonna go there this episode. I'm not even gonna go there. I had to witness being raised by a woman who was more believing in God than an actual man. But anyways, never mind. Anyways, but yeah, so you know, if God was alive, do you think he would have let Amy Cooper's racist antics go and just get dismissed? Her and for anybody that doesn't know who I'm talking about, Amy Cooper was a white woman who falsely accused Christian Cooper, who's not to be mistaken as like her brother or relative. Amy Cooper's white, Christian Cooper's black. He was a bird watcher that was falsely accused of threatening her and getting too close to her as he was bird watching in Central Park.
What do you mean, her brother?
Well, my brother.
I
mean, they have the same last name.
I know.
But
I'm just making
so I wonder if if God was really real and you're supposed to love each other as yourself, would racism really exist? And then 2, would also Amy Cooper, would he have allowed Amy Cooper just to get away with taking 5 classes of like racial bias courses and then having her case dropped? Like, I don't see how much like learning you can get for some bull. Like I've been to the anger management courses and court appointed, and they're bullshit. So I can only imagine how bullshit court appointed racial bias. And it's not even like they're racial bias courses. Not like microaggressions, not even like anything, just racial biases. Like racial biases is such a broad spectrum. But you know, hey, it is what it is. You know,
so
God's will, right? God's will.
Couple thoughts here. Number 1, what would he say?
WWJS.
What would he say to Miss Cooper?
Repent. Talk to God. Repent.
What he would say is,
and it'd be okay.
He actually would say to Mr. Cooper, turn the other cheek. Let her threaten you. Because that's some stupid weirdo Jesus shit. And that's why I don't like that. Yes, he would say, you know, slap me again. Like, no, I don't want to do that. This is I guess my question is, what would the penalty be? Is it was the crime filing a false report?
I would hope it would be like filing a false report, and what is it? Insinuating not a riot, but like I don't know, some kind of like hatredism or something. I don't know what the crime would be.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, it's what she did was super fucked up.
Like that's a false accusation. Like you should go to jail. Sure. Like or
for
something.
What though?
Or fine for literally. And that's the thing. When you do
I'm not
that,
especially
her,
again, I'm trying to figure out, like, what she did was shitty, but I'm like, what's the crime here, and what would the punishment for that crime be?
But okay, and that's the thing that needs. I feel like that should be a crime because, especially when you're doing that to a black male in this society, like you're literally you're setting him up for failure. That's you're lying against somebody that's with racial like with a racial bias, which I guess why she had to take the racial bias class. But like that's literally like that's false accusation. I'm no lawyer, but like I
But
would
she
hopefully
voted
like
for
that's race
Obama.
baiting. That doesn't mean shit. That doesn't mean shit. That's race baiting. Is it?
Yeah,
Is it like
that was one of her lines of defenses
like
was that
that's
she voted
bullshit?
for Obama.
And she has a black friend. I don't give a fuck.
I'm an ally.
You're putting a black man's life in jeopardy, calling the cops on him. You know what I mean? You're wasting tax dollars. That's misappropriation of taxpayers' funds or whatever fucking shit it is. So don't kill me in the fucking comments because I don't know the exact thing. There's so many different things you can get for her. So if anything, she won't go to jail, fine her, give her so many fucking fines out the fucking ass, and then send her to court. But like, hopefully she understands that like making a false claim like that is super, super detrimental to somebody's safety, especially a black man's safety. You put his life at risk. Super put his life at risk, especially in New York. Have you not heard of the fucking Central Park 5, bitch? I'm just saying. Like that man, Mr. Cooper could definitely have something. Luckily, he had evidence and shit like that was able to like get him free and shit like that. But like, and he had video. But like, I don't know exactly. I think that should also be just like if somebody fucking falsely accuses somebody of like a sexual crime or something like that, like of rape or sexual assault.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody's going to jail for filing a false. I think there's a fine and there's classes to take. Again, I'd be curious to know what that consisted of, what those.
But you don't see that danger though. You don't see the danger.
Oh, I see the danger. I mean, I mean, again, I don't mean to suggest that what she did is okay, and there certainly were ramifications. The argument, of course, would be, well, but nothing did happen.
And that's the thing. There needs to be a crime. There might not be a crime for it now, but there needs to be a crime for that kind of shit. Because literally, with those kind of false accusations, you're literally putting somebody's life in jeopardy.
Well, I think we've seen it enough too that I think it certainly requires some sort of legislative effort where we should craft some kind of law about this. It's becoming, I think, enough of an issue that there should be more to it. Certainly.
But even then, you even take it with the fucking the impeachment, right? They acquitted him, but doesn't mean he's fucking innocent. He's still fucking egg these people fucking on. So like, imagine if she did that and was like, "Oh my god, this guy he harassed me or he threatened me," and that cop decided not to do anything right there. But as Mr. Cooper was leaving, he decided to fucking be aggressive towards him just because off of that shit. You don't know what that other cop's meant. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what you're insinuating, what you're pushing somebody to do. So like with that kind of shit, like, yeah, it might not be a law now, but it definitely needs to be changed. It definitely needs to be worked around all walks of life.
Absolutely. So, yeah, this needs to be addressed. It's an issue, and to see that this is a slap on the wrist, it says that this wasn't serious, and we do need to rectify that, no doubt about it. And to your point about Trump being acquitted on the impeachment charge, our buddy Carlos from Speaking It Real, was all over that point. And I asked him about Casey Anthony, and he was like, she's innocent. I go, would you let her babysit your kids?
Yeah, he wouldn't.
He didn't want to answer that question.
Exactly. Just like he wouldn't answer the question when.
Right. It seemed like the answer was probably a big no, though.
No, exactly. He wouldn't go dating her either. Exactly. So like, just because somebody, and even then, you know how many people were found guilty and they were innocent. So miss me with this whole fucking whole trial thing.
Right.
And honestly, most of those people aren't even lawyers.
The system is perfect. That's why people were protesting it.
And it's just like, it went off of a Senate vote. Not all senators are lawyers, if I'm not mistaken.
You are. You're not mistaken.
So
a handful are.
It's just like, who are, like, it wasn't like it was a trial by, it wasn't like it was his It wasn't like it was the American population, right? It wasn't the civilians fucking actually voting. It was you guys. He didn't have a jury. The jury was a bunch of people that we already knew weren't going to fucking vote for him because they were already scared what their fucking election looked like in the next 2 to 4 years. So it's just like that wasn't really a fair trial. So miss me with the bullshit, you fucking dumb tards. Once again, man, I can't say I hate these people, but y'all really make it hard to like y'all. And it really makes it hard to like call y'all nice names. We'll go with a win. We're gonna put a win column in for the NAACP. Even though they haven't won it, they're just suing right now. But the NAACP has sued Trumpito and his FOIA lawyer, i.e., good old Giuliano, over the Capitol riots.
Maybe he'll get that trial by combat he was hoping for.
Exactly, and get his ass fucking beat, Giuliani. Fucking, I would love to see Giuliani try. Like, he probably have like the Beijing or the hair dye all like in his face when he's trying to fucking fight. I bet you the what hotel was that supposed to be? But it ended up being the tire
the Four
shop.
Seasons
The
Landscaping
Four Seasons
Company.
Landscaping. They would probably even host it.
Classic.
They would probably. That's what they need to have with all these like celebrity fucking boxing contests. They need to put fucking Giuliani in there with Trump, and whoever makes it out alive gets to stay out of prison. That I think I like that.
Yeah,
and I think Giuliani might win that one. Like, I don't see Trump winning. Like, yeah, Trump couldn't even walk down the ledge. But anyways, back I'm proud that the NAACP is actually having the balls to actually be one of the first people to pursue some legal action against these idiots. Apparently they're claiming violation of the Ku Klux Klan Act. I honestly didn't get a chance to really dig through that act recently, but apparently it's has some basis, that the rioting, the coup thing, and all that other good shit. But more to come on that. I just got it pretty much came out today that they were going to be pursuing that action. It doesn't really say. I didn't get too much of like exactly what they expect out of this. But it was actually interesting to actually learn that there was actually a Ku Klux Klan Act. I didn't know that as well. I was today years old when I found that out.
Yeah, 1871 that was passed.
Wow, 1871, the Ku Klux Klan Act was passed?
Yep. 1871 statute that includes protections against violent conspiracies that inferred with Congress's constitutional duties. The suit also names the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers.
Yeah, I heard about the Oath Keepers.
Yep.
We already know the Proud Bitches. I don't fuck with them at all. They're all pussies in my book. Anytime you guys want to visit, I'll piss you off shortly and get you that Proud Boy Kitchen t-shirt. But keep going. I'm sorry. I had to plug that.
So part of what the lawsuit is Senator Bernie Thompson was in fear of his life and was in a situation where he was stuck in a room with other Congress people, some of whom tested positive for coronavirus.
That's lovely.
And so, yeah, I mean, they've got, they're seeking compensatory and punitive damages. So they're suing for money, which I think is awesome.
But now,
because according to the Southern Poverty Law Center, they've been able to use this law, Rob, to bankrupt Ku Klux Klan chapters.
Yeah, and that's why they've been dismantled. But that's crazy. And it was crazy. This has been an act since 1871. Holy fucking shit. So the Ku Klux Klan has been terrorizing way afterwards. So before then, they would have had to have been terrorizing before 1871 for this act to even like be put into place. And then they were still allowed to terrorize past 1871. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And this amazing country that we have that's not racist and that treats everybody fair and equal. Interesting. So shout out to the NAACP. I hope you guys win. I hope you guys kick this fucker in his teeth with the both of them with this lawsuit. I would love to see, and maybe as I do more research and I'll put it out next week, but to see what they plan to do if they win, especially understanding that they're looking for some kind of cash, I guess, outcome out of here if they win. So we'll see. I would love to see where that money goes and where they plan on distributing it because, well, I'll save that for another day. But congratulations, NAACP. Yeah. Let's go to my favorite. We'll plug another beautiful black company. We did it last year. I mean last year. I was about to say last year. We plugged it last week, but Me and the Bees.
When I was 4.5 years old, I got stung by 2 bees in 1 week. As you can imagine, I was really afraid of the bees because I was afraid that I was going to get stung again. My dad taught me about the bees themselves, and I found out that they were important. So I was like, if the bees are this important and they were declining and they were dying, then maybe I should help save them. So I decided to create a business. I started selling lemonade. And I wanted to donate a portion of the proceeds to organizations that were working hard to save the honeybees. People didn't really take me seriously because I was a kid. I definitely didn't know what it took to get my company into stores. I just knew that I wanted to. So my dad taught me about marketing and how to make sure that you're getting income. It smells really good. I would say it's important to ask for some guidance along the way. Find your people. Find people who are willing to support you and to mentor you as you grow, because even adults need help too. We have definitely grown a lot since having to squeeze lemons from a little press in my kitchen. Now I'm a national product that is sold in natural grocers around the country. Knowing that I'm making a difference has inspired me to keep on going.
Once again, that is from Me and the Bees. You can find Michaela's product, Michaela's amazing lemonade. You can find it at meandthebees.com. They also have a link of where to buy. If you live locally, you can find it pretty much at any fresh markets, World Market, HEB, Kroger's, Whole Foods, and other places like that. There's a couple locations in our area. Once again, that like I usually go to the World Market in West Hartford on New Britain Ave, and I get her lemonade. All of them are phenomenal. All of them are. I think I got a full run buy. No, I got the variety pack this time. I got the variety pack. It was like $30, I want to say. And my favorite, the ginger lemonade is still my favorite out of there. But definitely go check out Michaela, buy some of her lemonade out, meandthebees.com. Click where to buy. You can find somewhere local or you can order it offline. So yeah. Since we're kind of talking about local establishments and like local food and like, things like that. I figure we kind of dive into pizza again from last week, right? Last week was the big announcement that Connecticut is the official safe zone or key state for pizza, right? Pizza is the official food for the state of Connecticut and for the nation. Like we're the headquarters of pizza, right? It got me kind of thinking, right? Really, and then like we were talking about like the greatest of all times, goats and everything. Pizza is the goat of food, right? And I say that, hear me out. When you look at pizza, it has like probably the best range out of anything that you can make. Out of burgers, and when I say range, like there's so many combinations from how it's made, the different styles of like pizza, Sicilian, you got thin crust, thick crust, the Chicago deep dish. You got all these kind of varieties. And then how the crust is made. You got the wheat crust, the regular doughy crust. You got the whatever different. You got so many different styles of like actual dough. And then from there, you got the different sauces where you can have so many variations of the tomato sauce. You got now the white sauces, different kind of white sauces, red and white sauces. And then I've seen like the buffalo sauces, the barbecue sauces and all that. And then you have the beautiful toppings. Now we all might not agree on the toppings, but on certain toppings, like some people might not agree that pineapple goes on pizza. Some other people that might love anchovies on pizza, but once again, that's just the range of pizza, right? So it just quickly had a quick moment, quickly made me think of a quick moment. Just like pizza's the GOAT, and everybody loves pizza. Like I can't find anyone that thinks sex is like pizza, even when it's bad. It's still pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll eat some shit
I
with some onions on top of it, or some I've had pineapple pizza before.
Pineapple pizza's not
it's not
bad,
ideal, but you know what? Still
It's there.
fucking pizza.
And once again, pizza is like one of those things that, like, where you put certain things on it, you're like, holy shit, I never thought that something could taste so good with tomato sauce and bread and cheese. And when you break it all down, it's tomato sauce, bread, and cheese, and fucking goes phenomenal. Now, depending on, depending on what kind of tomato sauce and bread or dough you get, that varies. But it's hard to fuck up a pizza, but plenty of people do. That's another thing. Like, it's such an easy thing, but it's such a artsy, craftsy thing that, like, it's super easy to fuck up. And once you fuck up pizza, it's hard to, like, come back from it. Like, I feel like if you go to a pizza spot and they might be having a bad day, you'll probably never go to them again. Like for me, like I'm sure that I stick to three pizza spots, and one of them is only because it's more local than the other two that I want to go to. So pineapple does not belong on pizza. Why not, Frank? Why not?
It's not an ideal topping, but when in Rome or Hawaii, what are you gonna do? It's not it's not the worst thing in the world. I've had anchovies, onions, and pineapple on the same pizza. I got a really fucked up buddy who does all the ordering when we're out as a group.
Oh, jeez.
And he's just like, give me a pie, put on mushrooms and onions. You're like, dude, what are you fucking doing? Stop that shit. Throw some mutts on there. Oh, there's already cheese on it. What are you talking about?
Yo, I hate the ones that with the ricotta cheese. I don't know like what kind of pizza it is, but my girl gets it with her mom all the time, and I'm like, why are you getting cheese with?
Yep. Oh yeah, there you go.
There
That's exactly right.
Why are you getting like shredded cheese and then ricotta just like dumped on it, and then like one piece of tomato? Like, I don't understand that kind of shit. There's some artisan pizzas that I just can't get with, but usually I'm a bacon and pepperoni kind of guy, or buffalo chicken from Iliano's, or if I'm local, once again, it's like another spot called Bella's, and it's just probably a bacon or a bacon pepperoni. I try and stay with the nice, but if I'm really feeling froggish and I go to my favorite spot, Mondo's, then I'll give it. They have a good chicken bacon ranch as well. But I just wanted to hint that since we were talking about like Tom Brady, Serena Williams, and all these goats, recently, I just wanted to give pizza its due diligence, and honestly, like, pizza, that is, like, as far as American, right? I can only speak American. Like, that is the thing that brings like kids together. Like, it's the best, like, versatile dish. Like, I don't know. It's like nobody can say no to a pizza.
Correct.
I remember like growing up. So we used to, my friends and shit, during the weekends, we used to like put all our money together and then go to the payphone at the pool house. When was the little pool house, and we would literally put our money together and order pizzas, and like we would literally bond and wait for the pizza guy to come and like get the pizzas, and like that was our little we took so much pride in like ordering our 2 larges, and maybe we had enough to get breadsticks and a soda and shit like that, but it was like ours. Like we put our money together and got our slices of pizza, and yeah, man, fucking pizza's the GOAT. Pizza's the fucking GOAT. As long as you're not using goat cheese on your pizza, you're good.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I am definitely a goat cheese guy.
Really?
I do love goat cheese. It really is good. I never thought I would ever say that, but it is.
Confession, I've never had goat cheese.
Rob, it's like fucking really good.
Like, what's so good about goat cheese?
Do you like cheese?
Yes, I love cheeses.
Then you'll love goat cheese. It's like delicious, delicious cheese.
But when I hear goat cheese, like I think of like curdy.
It's not.
Okay.
Nope. Yeah, it's not.
I can't do like curdy shit. Like,
yeah. No, this is. I've eaten cheese curds too.
Okay.
and they're pretty banging if you get them fresh.
We'll see.
I'm telling you, like, so I don't, and I'm not a big cheese guy. I don't like Swiss. I don't like provolone. I don't like
I love
Munster
provolone.
cheese.
See, provolone and Munster, those are my two right there.
Man, those aren't.
Really?
I don't. Brie is disgusting. Have you ever had brie?
Yeah, I'm not a brie fan.
The first time I had brie, I was like,
Yeah.
nope, that doesn't go in my mouth. That shit was a nasty.
Hell yeah. That's the thing. Like, I can't do cottage cheese. I
like cottage cheese and I buy it sometimes.
Ugh.
No, hold on.
It's like
hold
yogurt
on.
to me. Ugh.
Rob, I'll open it, I'll scoop some in a bowl, I'll eat it, and then like the next time I go to have some, I'm like, oh, I'm not eating this shit.
Oh my god! Like my stomach's just like how?
It's good. It's
Maybe
really
it's like
good.
a texture thing to me, but it's like a mixture of yogurt and cheese, like the two things that I just like. I can't even eat yogurt. Like
yogurt, I don't
yogurt
enjoy.
is fucking gross. But pizza's the fucking goat. You know what else is the goat? You know what else is the goat? Fucking working from home.
Yes.
Like I'm convinced. I'm convinced that like you have to be for any like business owner or like CEO or whatever, like whoever keeps like for you to be wasting money on a building at this point, like if I was like, I don't know why. I don't know why not anybody, but like if you don't have to work from like an office, if you can have people working remotely, why not? You know what I mean? And I don't know.
Yeah.
I brought this up because like I don't know. I can't remember. And that's the thing. We for what a lot of people don't realize is that after like we finish recording, we end up usually having a whole another podcast, like a whole after show afterwards of just talking and shooting the shit, right? So I can never remember if this is like something we kind of talked about while on the podcast or like afterwards, but we had talked about like with the real estate market changing and like people looking for like bigger housing to support like working from home and shit like that. And you had mentioned like your wife she's been working from home for the past year and some change now, right? Or at least a year, you know, right? Just how normal this is literally becoming, right? I even jobs that I thought would be something that I would have to be getting ready to go back into the office, as I'm still job hunting a little bit here and there. It's like a lot of more people are like, hey, yeah, we're not in the office. We kind of work from home, this, that, and the third, or I'm starting to see like half are like in the office during like half of the week, and then like the other half is out. But anyways, just working from home in general, like I really think that's going to be like that's the new norm. Like I know it's been normal for us the past year, but like it's going to be a continued norm. Like you're starting to see a lot of businesses saving money, especially the past year. Without having they've been able to save money. They've been able to actually pay their employees a little bit more because they're not spending so much money on like leasing or, you know what I mean, renting out a building for so long. I don't know. It would be nice to be able to like start seeing people really take this work from home just 365. Like I think that would actually start. I think we're actually in the beginning stages of a big change. You take the trend of like with even the changes of like digital currency, digital wallets, like you have the EVs now, you have everything. Like we're really getting into like that economic shift soon, I believe too, so where we're gonna start seeing like more like Jetsons like style living. And I say like economic shift. You have younger millionaires, you have people a lot younger making money now. So I think within like the next 40 years, that economic kind of structure will be a little bit higher, hopefully, which will be opening the doors for like a lot more things. Like I foresee now, like, probably foresee by the time that we're the old and decrepit people, like in our 70s and 80s, we'll start seeing the flying cars. We're gonna start seeing like, you know what I mean, like that full Jetson, you know what I mean, like how you just have everything at home, and like home is your kind of like like your centralized place for everything. I don't know. I could be wrong. That's just kind of how I see it, but Hopefully, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of beating a dead horse now.
No, dream come true. That's what it is. It's where it's at. I from the time I started watching the Jetsons, Rob, I knew that shit was for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I dreamed of the internet. I had a whole idea for it. I didn't know anything about computers, though. I didn't know quite where I was going to put the internet, but you'd be able to get anything you wanted with the click of a button.
And now you have it.
Yeah. Only I didn't get any money for it.
But that's crazy though. Like so we look. The Jetsons was when I was a kid. When you were when you were younger, they didn't drive to work. They flew to work. There's a difference. And then they went through the tube and all that other shit, or like beamed, right?
You think they'd have been able to fucking teleport? I mean, Jesus, losers.
Like, it's crazy. Well, we're starting to see it might not be the full spectrum of how we've seen it, but like we're literally seeing that shit like really develop under our arms. Look at Tesla. Tesla's trying to send people to Mars, like literally to live. And I know all those like Mars reports from all those different satellites and rovers that's been out there forever is coming back, and they're putting all that shit together to see where we can live and all that other shit. But like, I really believe by like the time we're 80, that actually not people necessarily living there, but there's probably going to be like, hey, we're starting to build shit. We're starting to do shit on a different planet or something. If we're not wiped out by then, I don't know. We'll see. But it's pretty promising. We see, like we said earlier, the change for just like EV and everything is starting to happen now. Which is something. Are you into this whole EV craze?
No.
You're not?
No, I'll be a slow convert to that. I'm never big on I say slow convert. It's been a few years that it's been happening, but I'm like you in the vaccine. Like I'll be there for like the 4th trial.
But so what's crazy is you figure what the Prius has been out for 10 plus years now, which is crazy to say.
I don't know that I was aware of that.
Let's see. Let's do a little. I don't want to sound wrong, but I'm pretty sure. How long has the Toyota Prius been out? Been around. Here we go. Holy shit! The Prius was launched in 1997, so I'm super wrong.
Whoa, man.
So it was subsequently introduced worldwide in 2000. So 2001. Toyota Prius hybrid. Yeah. Okay, so the hybrid, that model actually was all electric range 2012. So I wasn't too far off. Wasn't too far off. The Prius, I guess, was a whole like model in 97, but it became the electric version in 2000. Oh no, 2007. So yeah, not too far off at all. So now that they've had a couple different models, and now you look at Tesla's in this like 3rd or 4th like version or like upgraded model, right? So yeah, we're getting there. I honestly think 10 years from now, hell, you have all the self-driven like Uber cars now, especially in Arizona, and now that Arizona is actually going to be like the new fucking Silicon Valley. All these big tech companies and big startup companies and all that, they're moving from Silicon Valley area to Arizona. I saw a video the other day. A guy got into an Uber and it was literally just him. No driver, no nothing. And like this car was making fucking left-hand turns, right-hand turns. Like it actually went by a bus. Like, you know how the bus like stops and gets like the passengers? It was able to like route itself around the bus, like with no issues, everything. Pretty fucking dope. So like I'm with it. I'm with the EV craze. I think probably for myself, our next vehicle, I wouldn't mind getting like a Tesla or something like that, or if they had like a mid-market vehicle, you know what I'm saying, mid-level entry vehicle.
Is it hard? Is it any different than a regular car? I mean, because
what do you mean? So the whole makeup of it. So you don't have a combustible
No,
engine.
I hate it already. It's something
You ought to
different.
see.
I have to learn how to do it. How do I charge it? I got to charge it.
It's just like you literally take your little fucking thing and
Rob,
just like in your gas and you just boop, you charge it.
Rob, in the last like 4 months,
Uh-huh.
how long we've been doing this show? 7
Almost
months?
yeah.
Almost, is it we closing in on like a year?
Maybe. Yeah.
How many times have my phone died when we're talking?
Probably a couple times.
Right? My phone dies mid phone call.
Yeah, same.
3 times a week minimum. 3 times a week my phone. Shit.
Yep.
My phone just died. I'm gonna be stranded on the road if I have an electric car. I fucking get. I'm gonna be the guy be driving like right up on the highway, like, oh shit, I didn't charge it.
I think so. I don't know. So there's a fully electric motorcycle, that Harley has called the Livewire, and I was working there when it came out. I got to ride it a little bit. It was dope. And that was one of my biggest things is like, I'm going to get on my bike and I'm going to forget to charge it. But now there's charge stations all the time. Charge time, they do have speed chargers. So like your car can charge, like the battery can charge a little bit less. I mean, a little bit in less time. Would take less time for the battery to charge. But I do agree. Like you would have to be charging. I feel like you would have to be charging your car every time you stop. It takes away from the long trips, right? Like I like to get in my car. I know if I put gas in, I got certain amount of miles and I can plan out from there. With a battery, like you got to take into account for like the weather. If it's a hot ass day, that's going to drain your battery. If it's a cold ass day, that's going to drain your battery or mess up your battery. Like there's a lot of things to it, but I'm with it. I wouldn't mind taking. Now, would maybe not for purchase for yourself, but would you take like a self-driven Uber? No. So like if a self-driven car came up and you're like, yeah, this is my ride. Not take it. You wouldn't take it?
No.
That's funny. Oh shit. Imagine if Joe had a flat and no charge in his car, his phone will die. That's funny. Joe's fucked. If that happens and Joe gets a flat with no charge in his,
the vultures would just be circling overhead immediately.
Oh shit. But yeah. I'm interested. It's gonna be interesting to see between the both of these working from home, people working from home, this whole like EV craze. We're at a shift. We're literally at the shift. You know how they said like the Roaring 20s was like a whole shift for the United States as far as like economy wise and growth wise. Like I feel like that's just kind of full circle in itself, and we're at the beginning of like. By the time it's 1930s, we're going to be like, what the fuck kind of world are we living in? I think so. Who knows? But I do know that, yeah, I don't even know what I know, but I do know that I'm ready for our next guy. Well, our next ad, Mo.
People love bow ties, and of course, it's a bow from Mo. It's my Denim and Daisies bow. Go Mo bow tie. This is my Walker tie. It's a bow from Mo.
Mo, if you look good, you feel good.
I'm Mo from Mo's Bows, and I'm turning this into $1 million. Boom, boom.
Mosiah, you have to save in order to have that $1 million mindset.
My mom tells me to save and don't spend. I'm working on $1 million mindset. Well, Mo's Bows is a company that I started when I was 9 years old. When I first started making bow ties, I started selling them for a bag of chips. Now I'm selling them for about $50. Boom, boom, hot Cheetos, boom. Well, I have had quite a bit of attention from being on Shark Tank and meeting the President of the United States. I gave him the Obama blue bow tie.
Don't spend, Mosiah. Save, save, save.
The best thing about having my own company is to tell my mom what to do sometimes. Well, I don't tell her to do that many things. It's just the fact that I am the CEO and she's the CFO. So, I mean...
Mosiah, take out the garbage.
It's complicated. My whole brand does have a retro design
Don't spin,
to it.
Mosiah.
Okay. I think I do have a savings mentality, but I also think that I have a spending mentality. I do like to spend money. I'm tempted to spend money on shoes and clothes.
Mosiah, don't spin, Mosiah.
But I have to realize that I do run a company and I still have to save. But now with the first $1 million that I will make, what am I gonna do? Oh, yeah, I know. I'm gonna reinvest it back into Mo's Bows or help other kids start their own companies. Saving is what a biz kid does. That's pretty biz kids like. My advice for kids that want to turn $100 into $1 million is to save and don't spend.
Mosiah.
Once again, that is this that was brought to you by Mo's Bows. Check out Mosiah and his bows at mosbows.com. I can't wait till my bow gets in here soon. I'm actually gonna like dress up maybe one day and like put it on and let you guys see my bow that I ordered from Mo. So make sure you guys support that young
all
man.
excited for that.
Yeah, I look pretty good when I dress up. I look pretty spiffy.
Well, you
I'm
do.
excited.
You know, I make fun of you a little bit because when you get dressed up, you go a little over the top.
Yeah, I got to. You know what I'm saying? Like I've learned that. Like when you dress up or you like I like to go over the top when it's time to, but then other than that, I just like looking like a bum. I like sweatpants and a hoodie, which also somebody brought to my attention. They're like, "Hey, bro, I know you're like not like a bum or anything, but like you wore the same hoodie for like 3 episodes in a row." And I said, "Holy shit. I'm so glad I don't have a stylist." Because if I did, I definitely wouldn't have did that. So like I had to make sure I had on a whole different hoodie. So if you look like the past 3 episodes, I have my same like reddish maroon hoodie on that I love so much. And I didn't realize that until I went back and I kind of looked and I said, "Holy shit, I gotta like change it up a little bit." I promise you, I washed them every time. They actually, every time I grabbed it, they go put it on before the show. It came out of the basket. So it's a good thing. But no, I don't have just one hoodie. I just never realized it until recently that I just wear the same like in rotation. That's funny. That's so funny.
Who even notices that?
I don't know. So a woman. I was gonna say a female. A woman notices that. I will say a woman notices that. A woman that has like too much time on their hands. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna actually like. I know this is super like unprecedented, but like I think I'm done for the night. I think like we've pretty much hit like everything that I really wanted to talk about this week. There was I at first I wanted to talk and I almost put it into the script. Did you hear about the neighbors that the guy that shot his neighbors due to like snow?
Yeah.
And yeah, I wanted to talk about that, but like that shit's so fucking like I don't even know how to unpack all of that. Like it was crazy. Like I don't know. And I don't even want to. I know kind of don't want to dig into that. We might dig into it next week because like there's a lot of like cultural shit that I have questions for. Like the fact that like somebody got that upset and that crazy to like literally assassinate his neighbors over some fucking snow. And then like it's traumatizing to think that like, and then he shot himself and killed himself. So now like you've left this, and then you left their family, well, their child who has autism to be like parentless now and being raised by his grandparents. So like I don't know what the fuck that guy was thinking, but like when I saw that video, that shit was sick. So I kind of didn't want to like play it here and then like bring that trauma over here. But I have a lot of questions, and I don't know if people are ready to unpack that yet. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it. I watched it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it again tonight. I gotta tell you, I hate to say this or admit this, but I'm fascinated with watching people get murdered on camera.
You know what? I can see where you're coming from with that, because when I saw the video, I watched it a few times, like just trying to like what would, and the fact that like I think what made me watch it more is the fact that he left, went in his house, got an AR-15, and then came out. He got an assault rifle and came out and like finished the job. I was like, what the fuck is going through this guy's head? Like to me, it said more than just beefing over shoveled snow.
Yeah.
Like, and when like their properties were a whole street apart. You know what I'm saying? So like you guys had a whole street apart from you. Like that shit stemmed deeper than just some fucking snow. And like the mentality that somebody has to be in to not only off you and then come back and like make like to double tap. Like that shit was crazy. I don't know.
Damn.
Too much to unpack, but yeah. I guess we'll end on a good note. I'm happy. Anybody that doesn't know, I'm a huge fan of the McDonald's Shamrock Shake. So, of course, the Shamrock Shake is making its faithful yearly return. And then, guess what? I learned something. I was today years old. You want to hear a fun fact about the Shamrock Shake? The McDonald's Shamrock Shake? Did you know that the Shamrock Shake was created in 1967 by Hal Rosen, a Connecticut McDonald's owner and operator? So the Shamrock Shake started in fucking Connecticut. It was then in 1970 that it was distributed throughout the U.S. at select locations and grew its mass hysteria from there. But yeah, 1967, Hal Rosen, a Connecticut McDonald's owner and operator, made the mint shake in celebration of St. Patrick's Day.
Well, it is a classic, I'll tell you that.
So, yeah. So make sure you guys go get you a Shamrock Shake while they're out here. I love it. I always get like, I used to get one like too many, like probably 3 a week. Now that I've matured, I get probably like 1 or 2 in the season. But Shamrock Shakes, I love them. I don't care what's in them. That's one of those things. Like I care what the vaccine is, but like if you want me to take a vaccine, put it in a Shamrock Shake.
That's the way to go, huh?
If you want me, Biden, if you want me to take a vaccine, put it in a Shamrock Shake. And they're making it a Shamrock McFlurry too as well. So booyah. Double the pleasure, double the fun. You know, everything's good when it looks like double mint gum. You know what? On that note, I don't know. You have anything else for us, Joe? What's on your mind? You got anything else before we close up tonight?
No, but you know, you had broached an idea, and I still plan on making it happen. I want us to do before the month is over.
What's that?
And I really got to get the push on a 24-hour telethon.
Yes, so we're gonna make this happen. We're definitely gonna make this happen. I want for that telethon. I wanted to make it like get like a good segment and like have our listeners in like live. Like send a couple of our listeners. Like I think like it would be cool to have a like a town hall kind of and like unpack some of like the big things that we talk about. But definitely want to make that happen within that 24-hour live stream, which is going to be dope. Excuse me. Ooh, yes. But yeah, definitely want to make that happen. I think we just gotta get on it. We have the talent.
Yeah, we definitely do. I'm gonna get focused on that tomorrow. I'm gonna put that together, but we'll have that done before the month is out.
Heck yeah. And then also for anybody that's interested, you know, you can always visit www.pissyouoffshortly.com and clovercrestmedia.com, where you can listen to I'll Piss You Off Shortly. And all of our old previous episodes, make sure you guys catch up on those. If you guys visit I'llPissYouOffShortly.com and use code PISSOFF15, you'll get 15% off at checkout for 15% off any new order. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, all that jazz, YouTube. I see everybody's going to like Patreon. That might be something to look interested to. But yeah. I don't know. I know there's a couple different things coming in the works for I'll Piss You Off Shortly. I have a couple things that I want to try and work on. If you guys are actually interested in becoming a part of the I'll Piss You Off Shortly team, definitely reach out to us through email at I'll Piss You Off Shortly at gmail.com. Definitely be interested in looking for writers, or even like graphic design people, audio people. If you're interested in just learning and growing with the CMG family, I'm sure we might be able to find a nice spot to put you on, especially those looking for credits or some kind of credentials. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But I wanted it to be a short night tonight because I ain't gonna lie, these 2 jobs have been kicking my fucking ass and I've been fucking tired. But yeah, I appreciate everybody fucking supporting. I'm sorry if you felt kind of short of this episode, that we didn't reach the 3-hour mark like usual.
Yeah, I
But
think a solid 2.5.
a solid 2.
good.
Yeah,
Who's
solid
complaining?
2.5.
Get a life, losers.
But yeah,
No, I joke.
he jokes. I'm serious, you fucking losers.
Yeah.
Hey, and also, once again, I know times is tough, money is tough, money is tight. So if you guys can't monetarily donate, there's always the greatest support is the support through sharing, support through caring. You make sure you guys are hitting that that thumbs up, that share, that subscribe button. And that's anything better than giving anything monetarily. That's probably that's the next best, if not the best thing right there. Make sure you guys are telling a friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Catch I'll Pitch You Off Shortly every Monday night at 9 p.m. or Tuesdays, but primarily Monday nights. But you would catch us next on Tuesday as well, right? I believe we're scheduled. Yep. So next Tuesday, 9 p.m. And then we'll be back to our regular scheduled program. But outside of that, it's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. I'm Rob Benjamin. That's Joe Guire. This is I'll Pitch You Off Shortly. Good night.
One day. I will get it right one day. Hey, remember how many times you used to do the messages for for your voicemail? It goes something like this. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for locking into another episode of I'll Piss You Off Shortly. This is the podcast where we debate everyday issues, pushing your thought process beyond what's normal. The topics discussed here are meant to be intense, promote growth, and at times may have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Me too, a little bit. We may not always agree, and we will more than likely have varied opinions. But with that being said, I can't promise to be your favorite podcaster. Neither do I want to. But I can promise to be transparent, fair, and open-minded. So please, if you think you've got the stamina, passion to debate, analyze, and challenge the normal, please take a number. I promise you, I'll piss you off shortly. Hey, mama.